Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So did you guys hear, apparently YouTube went down all over the world yesterday. I guess I'm not the only one having problems, says Michael at Val5Links on Twitter. YouTube seems to be having issues loading videos right now. Several Verge staffers are having trouble watching videos, and YouTube has confirmed that something is going on. It seems as though the problem has been cleared up. So if any of you guys have been noticing that YouTube hasn't been loading, it was indeed a problem worldwide. Just wanted to bring that to your attention in case you were trying to load one of my videos. No, just kidding. Lots of people go on YouTube for various different reasons. I thought it was pertinent to bring it to you guys because clearly you are watching this video on YouTube as an example. Guys, Bitcoin price reached another high yesterday, so it did top out here. If you guys want to take a look at the chart, right up there, Bitcoin did reach a high of about 16,100, came right back down. This is Bitcoin on the hourly, but we're still making higher highs. So the trend is continuing to go up. This on the backdrop of a world where the stock market is also increasing. And some people are asking, how does it keep rallying? When rug pull, says Moncho here on Twitter. And this is the Dow Jones Industrial Average, guys. Look at that chart, the highest it's been ever. But this tweet is commenting the Dow Jones is up 100,000% since 1897. Interesting to take note of that. There are also some other interesting things. And guys, this is all tied together, in my opinion, because we have to look at what the world is going through right now and think to ourselves, why hires up are making decisions about, let's say, things like cryptocurrency, even if it doesn't make sense in isolation. The bigger picture purview should help it make more sense. So this from GREGMANNARINO. Something interesting going on here. Big Pharma CEO dumping their stocks prior to release of their vaccine. So if you guys haven't heard, Pfizer just announced that they came up with a new beer flu vaccine in hopes to control the beer flu that's been going around the world. And so this was brought to my attention by a few people here. Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla sold 62% of his stock in the company on the same day the drug maker announced the result of its beer flu vaccine trial. Bourla sold 5.6 million in stock on Monday as part of a predetermined trading plan adopted August 19th. Okay, that's a convenient excuse. Lunar C down here says apparently Bloomberg, they are working on a powdered version that's likely to be better than the first for not needing deep refrigeration. Pump dump buyback in before the next announcement. Red-tailed Buddyo says, honestly, I don't think this is immediately going to hurt people or else would be too unacceptable. It's the long term that no one knows and the short term misery and the uncertainty of duration and protection. David down here says highly suspicious, but it could not be what it seems. I don't know what intentions are behind that predetermined trading plan in case there is such a trading plan. Now, chances are this is the first vaccination. It won't do as well as people are expecting, as people are hoping. And this is the biggest buildup, I think, for a vaccination in the history of the world. They're saying it's a predetermined trading plan, but chances are it won't be as successful and the market will drop on Pfizer stock. The CEO is selling a predetermined amount, predetermined in quotes, very, very convenient. Meanwhile, in the United States, with regards to cryptocurrency clarity, we have this from Michael at Val5Links on Twitter. Brian Brooks, the former Coinbase executive turned leader of the U.S. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, or OCC, recently received a letter from multiple Congress members expressing concerns over his crypto-heavy leadership. So, we were thinking that there may be a more rational approach towards this, and yet this is what happened. So there was a letter that was signed from Stephen Lynch, Rashida Tlaib, two congresspeople from Massachusetts and Michigan, respectively. And they also got signatures from these congresspeople from Illinois, New Mexico, and California. The letter references the OCC's recent unilateral actions in the digital financial activity space, including interpretive letters on cryptocurrency custodies, stablecoins, and its announced plans to start offering special purpose payment charters. A media statement from Tlaib said yesterday. So, this sounds like we're making progress, right? Not so fast. The crypto industry has seen a number of key regulatory clarity decisions in 2020, in part thanks to OCC under Brian Brooks, In July, federally chartered banks received regulatory approval for crypto custody, which was good, while September ushered in approval for stablecoin reserve custody by such banks. So, we were thinking we were on the right track. But now look at what's going on. Given the limited statutory authority of the OCC, we urge the comptroller to seriously reconsider the implications of a unilateral approach and instead invite the OCC to collaborate with other regulators and Congress on these issues. So they're looking at this as a, one solution for all kind of approach. The OCC's clarity from September hurts innovation while facilitating a new class of institutions that benefits large establishment fintech firms, the statement said. Giving big tech firms like Facebook the go-ahead to enter the payments arena also raises red flags with the legislators. In part, the ledger posits that the OCC put fintech and crypto regulation developments ahead of other more pressing issues, such as providing citizens with stimulus checks, so on and so forth. So an interesting development, although Congress people are not happy about this. And this brought to me by James Rule, XRP. This is the actual letter, Congress of the United States, House of Representatives, Washington, D.C., to the Honorable Brian Brooks. So you guys can peruse this at your leisure. I will put it in the description of the video. It is a PDF. Are we moving one step forward, two steps back with regards to cryptocurrency regulatory clarity? It feels like in some arenas we're doing all right, but in other arenas, maybe not so much. So this from MARTINCPVALK, and just to kind of bring you back to this idea of where the world is, just going to read this headline. Lagarde says next stimulus to rely on emergency QE and loans. Not going to read you this, but ultimately, Europe obviously still needing to rely on quantitative easing and loans. Those are the tools that Christine Lagarde had mentioned worked. So while all options are on the table, the pandemic emergency purchase program and targeted long-term refinancing options have proven their effectiveness, she said. They are therefore likely to remain the main tool for adjusting our monetary policy. Going to continue on with this from Michael at Val5Links on Twitter, the Chinese blockchain service network. So China also a big part of this story, already active in major Middle Kingdom cities and continuing to add interoperability options to their blockchain protocol. So they have what's called the Chinese Blockchain Service Network, the BSN, already active in all major Middle Kingdom cities and continuing to add interoperability options could pose a major threat to America's dominance in the digital realm, said a security expert and former CIA official, raising questions over the project's possible implications for the crypto sector. The opinions were put forward by Yahya J. Fanusi, an adjunct senior fellow at the Center for a New American Security think tank in Washington, D.C. In a recent analysis piece for Lawfare, Fanusi claimed that while the BSN is being touted as a system of low-cost back-end architecture on which software developers around the world can build blockchain applications, including digital assets such as cryptocurrencies, it is also seen as a tool that will serve the core cyber policy interests of the Chinese Communist Party. And it's getting a little scary that China is finding interoperability solutions for their blockchain. As we know, RippleNet obviously can leverage the XRP token, and XRP is interoperable. So the whole idea is being able to transfer value across many different platforms. Doesn't matter what that is, if it's fiat to crypto or crypto to crypto or gold to fiat or whatever. The interoperability is really what's going to make this internet of value valuable. Fanusi claimed that American financial authorities have benefited from the ubiquity of U.S. computer infrastructure in global business, but thinks that the BSN is trying to challenge that norm. He wrote, the CCP leadership believes that blockchain technology offers a foundational infrastructure for future technological innovation and that China should set the global standard in that arena. To begin doing so, China is inviting blockchain developers to build decentralized software applications on the BSN's China-run servers, even though some of the servers are located outside of China. So guys, this is a big part of the story as well. Of course, China wants to be number one. The United States has been number one for a while now, and some are disagreeing about which economy is actually bigger. The United States' economy has been the largest economy for a number of decades now, and China has been creeping up slowly, and some are suggesting that China has already surpassed the United States in terms of GDP. And if cryptocurrency regulatory clarity is going to continue to be stifled as we've recently seen here, that is not going to bode well for American interests. We've also got Hester Peirce, guys. So this from Ian Northing at IANBINS on Twitter. The reason regulatory clarity is happening slowly. So the U.S. government operates at a slower pace than the private sector when it comes to innovation. But this isn't necessarily a bad thing, said Security and Exchange Commission SEC member Hester Peirce. And guys, here's her reasoning. Speaking Monday at CoinDesk's Bitcoin for Advisors event with financial advisor Steve Sandusky, the second-term commissioner shed light on how the securities regulator is approaching financial technology innovation, including cryptocurrencies. Regulators are slow, and there's a reason we're slow. We need to have a process in place so that we make sure when we're changing rules, people have notice and we're thinking about changing a rule and they can comment, she said. So it's ultimately to set a standard and to give people enough notice that that standard is set. Let's not forget, guys, the current banking system has been working the way it has for decades, if not centuries. Well, even with regards to SWIFT, at least 4 decades, transferring money across borders. Let me use that as an example because we all are interested in a replacement for SWIFT, namely RippleNet using XRP. And so Peirce is claiming that that they need to be slow, that they can't actually move quickly, because they need enough time to change the system and to get everybody used to the new system. Ideally, regulations and guidance would not limit which technologies can be used, allow innovators to build a wide range of compliant tools and platforms. That being said, Peirce noted that certain regulations are very dated, and said that they would like to see the agency move faster in certain areas, pointing to cryptocurrencies as one example. So then she goes on to say there are circumstances where we have a framework at the SEC that was built in the 30s and 40s and added on over time. Certainly now that we're seeing what's happening in the crypto space, for example, there are areas we are going to have to make adjustments, and I do think we should move faster. I'm impatient there. So she is indeed saying, look, the cryptocurrency industry is moving at lightning speed and we need to keep up with it. So we should prioritize that sector specifically. So here are some examples Peirce offers allowing token offerings to operate in a regulatory safe harbor. So this is just the reality of it, guys. I wanted to go down here. She also pointed to the fact that there are congresspeople on both sides of the political aisle who are bullish on crypto and said support for the sector is bipartisan. So that is at least a good point, guys. The interview is down here in this article. I will link this in the description. So you know what? They are moving. Obviously, they realize the pace they need to move at. And although they can move faster on topics such as, allowing Bitcoin ETFs, as was mentioned in this article, the path for crypto utility tokens is still unclear. Now, this is in the United States, but this doesn't speak to what's going on in the world with the great economic reset that the World Economic Forum has been pushing. And guys, this is from Rishi Sunak. Now, Rishi Sunak is a member of parliament for Richmond, Yorks in England. And here's what he has to say. We'll publish a consultation to ensure new privately issued currencies, stablecoins meet the high standards we expect of other payment methods. And the Bank of England and Treasury are considering if central banks can issue their own digital currencies as a complement to cash. Where have we heard that before? Red Heart's also mentioning, oh wow, like a great reset plan suggested. What a coincidence. I don't think anything's a coincidence, guys. I think that a lot of this has been predetermined, and even if the US doesn't get off their butts with regards to the regulatory clarity, the rest of the world will onboard XRP in the meantime. What will that mean for the United States specifically? I do not know. A lot of people worry that the United States is going to be left in the dust, but I have a feeling the reset is going to happen now, especially if Joe Biden is the next president of the United States. Finally, guys, this is from Val Jester Locke here on Twitter. And yeah, that's Christine Lagarde and Steve Mnuchin getting cozy at an event. But did you guys notice what's in the background? Who the heck is that? Are they at some weird Eyes Wide Shut party or something? If you guys don't know what that is, I guess maybe I'm dating myself. Something I didn't show you guys yesterday when I was talking about the video where the Great Reset was actually trending in Canada. Look at what was trending underneath. That's right. It says Satan. Okay. Tell me what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.